All right, we waiting on big face. I thought he was about to come in, but looks like he left out. Let's give him 1 second. There he goes. All right, let's add him real quick, and then we're gonna intro it in. And all right, let's run this little intro. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, let me get straight too, because I ain't straight. Yeah.
All right, so we got DJ Zesta Illzee, we got Mr. J, and we got Big Face, and I'm the one and only Paul Masson. Mr. Jones didn't make it. I guess he had some other obligations and whatnot. Big Face just went out again. Basically, we're gonna do it a little different this time. I'm gonna have this little we're gonna have this little 3-minute timer that's gonna pop up in this corner right here. As you see the 3-minute timers. So we'll have that whenever we go through, and somebody starts talking. That way we don't go too much over and whatnot. And here goes Big Face back with us.
Yo, so Jones told me, I was on the phone with him like 30 minutes ago. He said he's gonna definitely on. So you sure he ain't having technical difficulties or something?
Man, I don't know, man. He didn't text me or nothing.
I just got on the phone with him like 10, 15 minutes ago. Was on the phone with him for like 20 minutes. He definitely was in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if he comes in, we'll come in.
Yeah, let me hit him.
Because I thought honestly I thought we weren't starting until 7:30, or am I wrong? Was it 7?
7, cause Z be having to get ready for work around 8.
Oh shit! I've been sitting here bullshitting. I've had it on for like 45 minutes. I was bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like, my bad for sure. For real.
I try to skate out at about 8, but I'm here for the conversation.
Absolutely.
Fucking Fayetteville rap politics. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's my shit.
I want to get into this one though. We're old heads, right?
Allegedly.
Wise heads.
Young old. Okay, we'll go with wise heads. Wise heads. Who do
wise
we blame?
guys.
Who do we blame for this generational disconnect in hip hop? That's definitely there now. That wasn't there when we were coming up. Like, giving homage and shouting cats out and things of that nature. Man, we don't hear no more.
I wouldn't say this. I mean, we hated fucking the R&B, man. Back in our day, it was like, man, R&B is whack. Hip hop is where it's at, and so now it's like they like, man, that boom bap shit is whack. The trap is where it's at. So I mean, it's like, the youth is going to have their own way of doing things, but I think the disrespect is invalid though. Like, we should respect each other's like differences and shit. Or respect the youth because they come from a different world. They born into some new shit, and the style of music we may not like dig it, but it's their thing. You know what I'm saying? We can respect it. That we were at one time we're young and we had a style that the adults didn't appreciate. But to say hip hop is just youth culture, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've heard that a lot lately.
Yeah, it comes from youth culture, but it's not. It's 50 years old.
Let's be real about it. I mean, we the only subgenre that has a birthday. Rock and roll don't be celebrating birthdays.
Yeah,
we don't celebrate birthdays. Pop don't celebrate birthdays. Here we go. We want to date ourselves. We like to date ourselves. But I mean, I think that's changing. Another generation or so, you'll see your 45-year-old platinum selling artist still. Because just like rock and roll, you'll see the classic hip hop station take over, hip hop podcast, hip hop playlist take over, just like classic rock stations gave them life in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, you think about it, like the generation that got the money to spend on the tickets.
I blame us, of course.
That's us. I'm saying, like, Ice-T was just saying on Twitter the other day, he let us see all of the old greats on tour and get money, even though, what I'm saying, this. I heard some rumors from the Masters of the Mic show in Wilmington. They said Rakim was disappointed, man. They said it was a letdown. Did you see that?
I see it.
What happened? What happened?
Was it the turnout?
Nah, my man Jay, he was like, man, he came out and he did some songs from the Masters. Like, he didn't even get around to he did a lot of songs that wasn't like his hits. You know what I'm saying? And they let him close, and he said a lot of people was walking out because it was like, you got your hits. Give us the hits. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't
absolutely. At this point in his career, that's what he should be giving them. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, he came out with some songs from the master.
Mr. Masson, Paul, to your question, though, I blame us, just like I blame parents for kids. I mean, we were disconnected for a long time from the hip hop youth. We were like, yo, we don't like these cats, these mumble rappers. What this? I've always had a connection with the younger hip hop artists in the Ville. Honestly, man, like I definitely have reached out to cats I thought were dope. I've let motherfuckers know over the years who I thought were dope. I rep, shout out, the cats I rep all the time. But it's our fault a little bit. And even us, we were like, LL's the only one that can make it. LL was the only artist forever that was old and doing something.
Yeah.
When honestly, we left our heroes behind. We stopped buying Nas records. We stopped buying this record. We could still buy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're still dropping music. You can still go.
It kind of depends on who you ask too. You know what I mean?
I mean, like Lords of Underground, who I personally friends with Mr. Funky and Do, who spend a lot of time in the Ville. They've dropped several albums that are dope, yo. Funk can rap his ass off, yo, and Funk still rap. But
I remember, I think the last Lord's album I caught was Resurrection, and that was like after the deal. It was like the indie record. It had been like 2000, like 99.
Well, actually, check YouTube, because Funky got shit from like 2015 on, 2017, 18, 19, 20, where he just murdering shit.
Yeah. So the artists can keep going. It's appreciated by the people who appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
We got to appreciate it. Well, why is the WNBA don't make no money? Because nobody fucking likes it. That's why.
Yes. So, what do you think, Mr. J?
Yes, Mr. J.
Like I said, it depends on who you ask, because I mean, there's certain artists who reach back. You got your Kendricks, your Coles who reach back, and Kendrick had Kid Capri on his album. He had certain other people on his album. Same thing with Cole. Reach back to certain people. Maybe not necessarily on his album, but he's been on other people's albums. He was on the last. The last official Guru and Premier album.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is just kind of like it's kind of depending on who you ask, what levels you're going to. If you're thinking about the underground, of course, the underground is always going to reach back. If you're talking about commercial may not do that as well, because it's always generated to make money. It's never going to appreciate what's going on.
I love the Instagram, Twitter, fucking TikTok era where, it's some people say it's diluted the art, but at the same time it's democratized it. It's making it where, talent just come through. You know what I mean? Like, if you dig something, you're gonna like it, and it didn't have to go through no gatekeeper or nothing, no label or no.
Yes, but I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but to further on what Mr. J said. You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop is still there. What you seek, you shall find, man.
Yeah.
Like, people say, "Oh, ain't no backpack hip hop." Yes, there is. There's tons of it on the internet.
All over the place.
Tons of it in Fayetteville. Tons of dope rappers that got a message. For you to say it ain't there, it just shows me you ain't looking. You know what I mean? But you listen.
You don't even know what you're looking for.
You definitely got to hear some shit. You definitely got to sift through something you don't like, but you're going to find something you like. I guarantee you that.
So like,
got to be real research.
I got two daughters, right? One not really into music, and the other one was kind of into music. But like, I be trying to hip her to shit. She be like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's generational disconnect, I guess, because dad likes it. It's not cool. You know what I mean? I get that. Because, the same way, but like, but then later, like, I'll hear her playing some MF Doom in a room, you know what I'm saying? I'll hear her playing some shit. I was like, I was trying to tell you about that shit months ago, you know what I'm saying? He's like, if it doesn't come from me, if it comes from me, it's whack. But as long as
one thing about music is it's powerful when you find it yourself. You can't leave water. You know what I'm saying? You got the music, something you got to find. I've told my son forever. Now, my son's he's 20. I'm about to be 20. Huge J. Cole fan. huge Kendrick fan. But there's other, his favorite rapper is Juice, R.I.P. Juice. You know what I'm saying? He put me
Juice
on
from the
some
battles
stuff.
from
I put
Juice
him
from
on
the
the stuff. He
battles.
put me on the stuff growing up. So you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes.
Yeah. I learned from them too, though. You're right. That's where the connect need to be at. Those we need to respect the art form if it's valid. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, in our age, we got to be able to guide them and not.
If it's valid is a huge statement.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. We know trash when we see it because the vibe that it gives us, man, this probably is not healthy, or this isn't, this ain't it. You know what I mean?
Well, let's go with
you're
what
not
you
gonna be
just
listening
said.
to it
We
20
know
years from
trash
now.
when we see it, right? So if we know trash when we see it. Haven't we been some kind of the old man get off my lawn with the trash kind of thing?
Absolutely.
And that's part of the blaming us. Get the fuck off my lawn, you whack rapper. You know what I'm saying? This is our we created hip hop. We made this shit,
bruh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure too.
Nah, trash is trash. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that treasure shit. Trash is goddamn high ass garbage.
I mean, he's right though. For the labels, it's their treasure, man. They're making
Let's
a
treasure
shit
for
ton
them
of
because
gold.
we, of course, okay, we gonna argue this. Okay, I like to argue this argument. All right, people say, "Oh, the label, we allowed that." So if we stop allowing that, just stop copying that shit.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, goddamn, I ain't consumed it. It ain't been for me. You can't blame me, bro. But I
it's being
support.
consumed.
I definitely support the cats I want to support. I make sure the money goes to them. Now these mainstream cats, I don't really fuck with that. To me, man, celebrity to me is a cat in the ville that's doing it. That's motherfucking making it. There's plenty of celebrities right around me. I don't have to. My Tom Cruise, he live on the east side. I don't fuck with Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop, as far as
don't mess with Scientology.
If we're not talking about family hip hop as a whole, yeah, but I see it changing. I see it evolving into older cats game. Like you look at what the production of the last few years of what the older heads been doing, and it's still phenomenal. And I don't see this generation of Weezy going anywhere. I think he'll be 50 dropping hot jewels. So I mean, I think that he'll take them with him.
Man, listen, when Tribe Called Quest came back a couple years ago, it was like they never left.
They went gold.
That album was so good.
Yeah.
Or when there's a lot of people that just
been very
Busta Rhymes last album. Busta Rhymes, so it's like it's like they never left. It's like they're still performing at that caliber. So it's all about.
I see more artists doing that, and you look right now, the hot artists, they're older. Like Drake's in his mid 30s, man. Future's in his late 30s. Titty boy, man. Don't forget, never forget.
Okay, well, let's take it further, and I'm gonna start with Mr. J on this one. Can we do anything to bring the connection back between these generations, or is it kind of like a burnt bridge? Is it a burnt bridge?
No, it's all about networking. It's all about what you pass and about what you pass on to your family. Like DJ Illzee said, he's trying to instill some things in his kids. My brother tries to do the same thing for his, for my nephew. Just introduce them to different things. Some things land, some things don't. The biggest thing is don't take on the commercial argument. Commercial argument is usually there's always a generational disconnect. There's always going to be a generational disconnect. No, I mean, just like learning certain things that your parents told you years ago, you blew it off then. Once you get older, you're like, oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's that same way with music. Now I know now I know why you listen to this. Now I know why you listen to that, why it's important, why this lyricism, connects, why this storytelling connects, why these beat connects. I understand where it's coming from.
Z, we're gonna see a shift.
Man, what do you mean? What's the question? Like we're gonna move
a shift in the disconnect,
Yeah, listen, man. As real shit gets out of here, it's the only choice we need to come together with our families, our friends, and try to be kinder to each other and work with each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm an optimist, so I'm hoping that we're gonna bridge the gap and that we're gonna work together to leave this place better than we found it. That's my everyday goal, is to like, go out in the streets or go out in the world and leave it better than I found it. You know what I'm saying? Or be able to like, that's it. Just be a positive, be like, have some positive energy out there. But in hip hop, you do have to be able to express all aspects, man. Like all, if you're going through some shit, you need to talk about that shit. You know what I mean? Like if negativity is a part of life, like you can't just say everything has to be positive or everything has to be above ground. Hip hop is about being honest. That's the real shit.
I like that. I like that.
And I think being honest in your expression is gonna connect with more people and inspire more people to be honest. And if we all have honest conversations and be honest in our dealings, then we won't have so much strife and a lot of like, a lot of drama, a lot of negativity. We can kind of work that out. But we got violence in the streets, man. Still, Fayetteville is still fucking crazy. We still got a lot of wild shit going on. So you got to be cognizant of that, man. You got to know, like, when you're out there that, people are going through things, you know what I'm saying? And the shit that we put out and the shit that we create is helping to program these people. You know what I'm saying? It's either going to push them to the left or the right. You know what I mean? So just being aware, I think, is the main thing.
What you think, Face?
Well, I mean, speaking to the point of like the bridging the generational gap, I mean, why do we hold ourselves to such a different standard than, say, like other genres? Is what I'm saying. Like, if we're talking musically, I mean, we ain't talking about the culture. We ain't talking about breakdancing and DJing and graffiti and, the other elements of the culture, writing, the whole culture, the design, fashion. But what we talk about is music. So why do we hold ourselves to such a different standard than rock and roll, man? There can be subgenres and 17 different subgenres of hip hop. To me, that's the future. To me, we're just in the same place rock and roll was before it became, hair metal, then alternative. Now it's 17 different things. It's, we're just there. We're getting there, and it's painful because it is what it is. But I think it's something for everybody. As far as bridging the gap, I mean, I like some new shit, but I rock with mostly old shit. Shit that I love. There's still dope shit in the 90s for kids to discover, dope shit in the 2000s, dope shit in the 80s for people to discover if they never heard it. But there's also, a few jewels dropping every now and then now. Lesser and lesser to me because, we in that swing of, like my man said, like commercialism right now. But I mean, it all is a pendulum.
Yeah.
Everything come back to it'll be, on some militant type message in the next, cycle. But I mean, why do we have to bridge a generational gap is what I'm saying.
That's
right?
what he said.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why can't they rock with them and we rock with what we rock?
I feel you. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, it's not our, like, I was watching
it's not my job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
You know why? Because from a historical purpose, if there's no gap being bridged, the older you get, the less people gonna remember you.
Nah, because kid, the white boys are listening to Nirvana, still listening to new rock and roll too.
Why can't we listen? That's rock and roll, man. We talking about hip hop now.
I listen to Rakim and I listen to Joyner Lucas though.
I got a point.
I listen to Jay Uno from Fayetteville, and I listen to Guru and Premier every day, and I listen to, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when I say bridging the gap,
you ain't being reminded though. Like, you're not gonna keep going to the shows. You're not gonna keep
reminding cats of the Rolling Stones. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just making music, right? Like,
yeah. So check this out.
But they show they get back more. You know what I'm saying? They show more appreciation. They pay more homage.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Nah, we just had the whole 50th anniversary of hip hop. Like, LL's on right now. I mean, like. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen this much love for old school rap ever in a year than this year.
They're still mad, and they still mad.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I think should the old school get mad love? It's funny too because I was the whole Melly Mel situation.
Why they always bitching complaining?
We are in the angry genre.
Said what?
Why is the old school always bitching and complaining about not getting
because for years they ain't get shit. You gotta understand we killed our hip hop artists at 30 back in the day. We killed them at 30.
Complaining though? I want to know who. I need to know.
All these old folks be bitching and complaining about all these new cats, man.
I mean, like who
showing love.
That's the commercialism. That's commercial level.
My MO. I show love, man. I don't really be bitching about the new cats. That's never been my. I'm not that cat. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you suck, you suck. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't give a fuck what area you from.
Okay, right. But like, listen, everything dies, man. Shit, like swing clubs, not really. Everything doesn't really die.
And if you can find relevance, hip hop is about relevance. Hip hop is the most relevant genre of all genres. It's about relevance. If you can still find relevance, you can still do it. I do think that there'll be older artists. Like I think Jay's in his 40s. He could drop a platinum record right now. Why not? Right?
Jay-Z, yeah.
Okay, so that's called trickle down effect. I mean, Drake when he's in his 40s, Drake will drop. We drug it a little older guys because when we was coming out, cats was in their teens was killing it, right?
17,
and then in our generation, it was more mid-20s. And then it was the 30s. And now look, so I mean, I think that in another generation, it'll be all of them. 20s, 30s, 40s. You don't know. When motherfuckers drop shit, they might go platinum, bitch.
Yeah, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
I feel like that.
It's not like football or baseball, you know what I'm saying? You can't get an injury and stop rapping. I mean,
and I feel like you can do like Scoob's doing and go a genre, like go boom bap, and then make your whole shit in that genre. Like I think you'll be able to go horrorcore or straight this or that, and you'll be able to make your money anywhere you decide. Just like
look how Yachty's last album took out, and that was like Lil Yachty's album was like alternative rap. It was like some whole other shit. But
hey, I don't mean to say this, guys, and maybe I'm wrong for this because we can cut this out. But if we live in the Fayettenam, we should, I think, really trying to focus a little bit on the Fayettenam scene. I may be wrong. We can invoke national cats, but I don't want the whole show. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'll just be like, I'm wrong. I don't mean that.
That's cool. I get it. I just need to know more about it. I don't be in the scene like that. Other than
you don't want me talking about Fayettenam artists every Friday because I'm not gonna have nothing nice to say about a lot of them.
Well, that's part of the good shit, though, man. I got nothing nice to say about you, man.
Like Fridays at Marley's is ladies' night, and that's where I'll be going after I leave here, man, from 8 to 2 a.m. every Friday at Marley's on Yadkin. Yeah. So come out, get some spinning.
What you spinning?
Hey, man, so I try to read the room. It depends on the crowd. I try to communicate. I'll be like, listen, tell me what you want to hear, and I'll play that. But look at these grays in my beard. I'm playing what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, you're going to hear some shit from the 80s with this. You're going to hear some 90s shit with this. So, if you want something else, let me know. But I know what I'm good at. I know how to, you know what I'm saying? I know what I like. So I usually play like, I start off usually on like a Soul Train vibe, you know what I mean? On some like 80s, 90s R&B shit. Because it's ladies' night. And I play new R&B. But if it's like empty, like when I first start, then I usually just go in on whatever the fuck, like Larry June and just all types of shit. So, it is what it is, man. Y'all should come out, you know what I'm saying? I stop through whenever. But it's every Friday. Yadkin Road.
And what's that spot located?
I'll be there tomorrow night too, because I'm covering for Camp Cutter.
Where's that spot located?
Charlotte or something. Yeah.
Where's the spot located?
Come out. So what?
Where's it located?
It's on Yadkin Road across the street from Dragon's Lair. Okay. So you gotta be from Fayetteville to know where that's at.
Oh hell yeah, I know where that's right in the thick of it.
Put it in the waves.
If you're old enough, it used to be sporty.
Over there by the poker house.
Yeah, the poker house. Yeah. Right. Papa Doc's, George's, Rookies, that area over there.
Hey, so shout out to Dragon's Lair because I've been going there since I was like 10. The same cat, same Asian dude, rock and roll dude. He's still there rocking, yo.
They got his band. What's the band? Fear State, because I follow him. They got a rock
that's
band.
right. Yeah. Shout out to Fear State. I follow him too, man. That's dope for him.
Yeah,
he played
man,
he had a packed house like a week ago on a live show I saw him at. But shout out to him. I still go there and cop my kid. I cop my kid comics all through the years there. That's dope, man.
Yeah, I gotta go back. My spot used to be Coin Exchange.
He got a lot of dope memorabilia now, and he offshoots. He does different shit in there, them Funko, whatever pops and shit like that.
Yeah. That's the shit. Yeah, but yeah, you remember Coin Exchange on at Ponderosa Shopping Center? Yeah, that was Art Comic Book Store. That was it. I used to walk the Dragon's Lair every now and then, but right there at Ponderosa was the spot. Garbage Pail Kids and shit. That was my jam. Used to collect those and comics and shit. Yep.
All right, so you got to roll. You said right.
Say what?
You say you got to roll.
Oh yeah, man. Let me get out of here, bro. Let me get ready for work, man. But I'd love to continue the conversation next Friday. Illzee signing out. Peace.
Right,
peace.
One.
All right, so then there was 3. All right, so you want to talk Fayetteville? Well, let's talk about Fayetteville disconnect. Like, there's no.
Well, hang on. Well, let me pour me a shot let me pour me a shot right quick. 2 seconds. Hang on. Watch this.
Let me change this layout so I can see Mr. J's face.
Mr. J.
Oh, and he got us. You can't see us, and neither one is there. Let's take the layout out. Let's take the layout out. Let's go with this one.
So I'll get rid of that.
What, Mr. J? You originally from Fayetteville?
I've been around here for a long time. I was born in, Jersey. So,
okay.
I've been out here 20-some.
Yeah, I guess it's
Mr. J.
Been in the scene, been around.
Hey, Mr. J.
Said 94, my first time in the studio. So down there where used to be Unique Studios on Person Street. That was my first time going in the studio down there. So, been around. Did one of our first shows down there at the Prince Charles Radisson in about.
Shout out to Dizzle Brand.
So.
Shout out to Dizzle Brand. A mixture of fruit juices and liqueurs.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Dizzle.
Been known to drop some panties.
So you want to talk Fayetteville?
Sorry, Mr. J. Mr. J, I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. My man.
How could Fayetteville get more connected?
Well, I think it's just people got to show up. People got to, know what's going on. I keep telling people, from interview to interview, you got to continue to network with people, continue to kind of step out of your comfort zone, find out what people are doing, find out what people have going on, and just kind of tap in with them, just sit down and have, casual conversations. Don't even necessarily have to be about music. It's just once you start creating relationships with people, then you start finding out, what people are doing, what they're interested in, what they're about. And sometimes that's not what happens. Sometimes, people just kind of show up and what this person can do for me or that person can do for me. And that's not how it's going to work. Create the generation, you stop the generation gap by creating genuine relationships.
What do you think, in Face?
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with. I mean, definitely talking logic. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we all got our own unique spot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's I don't know why we compete so hard. The competition thing really don't get me a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. I don't feel like just because I don't like something don't mean I'm your enemy, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like your music is music and love is love. I feel like we, more than anything else, we pit ourselves against each other and we got this competition thing. Once again, I hate to invoke these all the time, but the comparison is it's a genre, it's a musical genre to me in this aspect. Like, yes, and it's a whole lot more than just that. And you got to be more real to do hip hop than you know. You can go on there, put makeup on, and do rock and roll, and be Izzy Cat, and nobody gives a fuck. Wake up with heroin in you, but you do that in the hip hop world, you're done. You're ostracized. You're finished. So there's a level of authenticity you have to carry, and hip hop is different than other musical genres. And I think that fades, and I think that's what's gonna ultimately change. Though, y'all don't feel like that's gonna change?
I don't have a lot of faith in Fayetteville. I haven't seen, like, you talk about competition.
I got no faith in Fayetteville, but I got faith in you, and I got faith in Jay. Like, in our own individual talents,
individuals, but these individuals are not bringing this thing together as a collective. And I
think we're beginning to see that happen, though. Thanks to you, and thanks to a lot of other people in that have the means to do it or doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, for example, like a cat, like I do a lot of podcasting now. Kaz is doing podcasting. We don't necessarily got to be the rapper guys, the faces. We could be playing different roles. Right. We could be playing podcasting roles and media roles and things of that nature. But the competition always comes in, because it always seems like somebody got to always be the star of the show, the face, and they can't just settle with their roles and stuff.
Prayers to his mom. He'd be on this show right now, but his mom, he's dealing with, he takes care of his moms. A lot of people don't know that shit, and she's in a bad, and he'd be right. He wants to be here tonight. I'm gonna tell you that right now, straight up. And you can quote me on that.
Prayers out to his family.
Absolutely. So Kaz wants to be a part of this podcast 100%. Kaz is doing a lot. Kaz is definitely free to give his time to anybody hits him up, man. I stop by there frequently, actually. And Kaz, he definitely is a Fayetteville dude like you, P. Like, I feel like if I call on you and say, yo, we doing this Fayetteville shit, you gonna show up. Jay, you gonna show up. You're gonna see Hood the mayor there, and he gonna say Face Mob. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect motherfuckers to all of a sudden wake up and be Mr. 26, no matter what they shout on the internet. You see what's up. You know what the city is, so work with what we got. If we work with what we got, then our shit gonna blow up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's bound to happen, bro. We got mad talent in this city, man. This city is on par with like large cities, bro, as far as talent. I think
we have a problem following through, and this is why. Like, I went to Barry Williams invited me. He invited me down to speak at his studio. And when I got there, I was a little nervous because there was a bunch of radio guys. And the radio guys basically was like, yo, y'all ain't ready for radio. You need to go to internet. And I was on the internet, guys. So they kind of iterated what I was going to say. But the only people that called me after the joint was the radio guys. Like, so he has all these artists come down here, listen to radio guys talk, listen to me talk. These radio guys are sitting there validating everything I'm saying before I even say it. And nobody follows through with the radio guys. Nobody follows through with me. And the only people calling me is the radio guys and me calling the radio guys, that, vice versa. And it's like, that's a problem.
So he's speaking on, like, you mean Barry Williams?
Well, like, no, the artist. Oh, he has all these artists coming, and we speak in front of artists, and not when artist follows through. So it's like you got talkers and you got walkers, man. And there's not a lot of walkers in Fayetteville.
Yeah, so
I think the problem is that once again it goes back to kind of the commercial thing. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to kind of make money real quick and hop in and make.
They don't want to go through the process.
Yeah, they don't want to do the work. Some of them.
Yeah, but once I see you not walking, then I ain't walking with you either. So I mean, yes, but the energy can be just as easily dispelled just like that. So you know that, P, man. Like, I'm sure you tried to get you see how long it takes to even get the smallest thing together in the Ville sometimes, man.
Yeah, because like I remember when the like who would we say is the biggest independent label movements in Fayetteville that we've seen?
Label movies that we've seen?
Independent label movements in Fayetteville. One of the biggest was Loudmouth, right?
Loudmouth, I don't know. You guys name some.
Why did those things go wrong?
First to Flight was kind of big for a minute.
First to Flight, that was one of the most talented groups. But I hate to say this, to me, it was just a bunch of individuals under a same name.
Well, I saw the Project Stars and the whole the Spunk, Big Cats, all them and the Loudmouth. I saw them make a lot of money, so I know they made a lot of money. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why
But
do you think? What'd you ask, P? Why do you think what?
I was talking about the biggest independent label movement. So why we didn't think they didn't work?
Well, as far as Fayetteville Central.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the only reason I ever seen the biggest stars that we know of our era and a little beyond, you know, our mini generation 2.0, whatever, it's always been because motherfuckers is knuckleheads. Can't stay out of goddamn jail, make the wrong decisions over and over again. You know what I'm saying? They can't differentiate a musical persona from their real life. They don't understand Mick Jagger. That motherfucker still goes and has a real life. You know, you can't be big face 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You got to exist as a person too. I don't know, man. If we fall off, we get our we got our shit bagged up.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I personally felt like Fayetteville history, when I go back and look at it, I felt like Bomb Shelter
You know,
had...
we never spent money historically, right? Nobody spends any money.
No.
No one wants to spend money on marketing or packaging or a street team or bill. Like,
and if you can't afford it individually, then what do you got to do? You got to try to afford it collectively.
Well, you can afford a lot more. The thing. Hey, motherfuckers can afford $500-$600 a month in trees, bro. They can afford a lot. Motherfuckers can afford more than they think.
No, you're right. You're right. They spend too much on trees.
$1,000 a month in trees, another $300 in Newports. That's $1,300 a month.
Yeah.
I know because I spend that.
So
but
priorities.
This is too.
Priorities. We got to get our priorities together.
Priorities, and everybody was segmented. I mean, if everybody decided at one point to go in collectively, it would have been a different thing.
I can't. Gotta unpack my bowl. Hang on a second, y'all. Unpack my bowl.
So you were saying everybody's segmented. Like, explain that a little bit more. Just the too many subgroups, right?
Yeah, I mean, individuals were kind of, everybody was on their own side of town, their own side of, you know, everybody had their own thing going. And, you know, a lot of times if you moved in the same direction, you know what I'm saying? If everybody moved in the same direction, we would have had that motion for the town, for the city. Everybody kind of had their own agendas, and the radio played into it too. You know, they had kind of had their own agenda, you know, picking different people. And, you know, when you could have really just blew everybody up and said, oh, we've got something bubbling here. We need to truly invest in it and truly push these people to the top. I don't.
And
I always talk about, you know, places like Oakland, places like Houston.
The hip music works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tug of war the whole damn scene from your town. You know what I'm saying? But we should utilize who's made it before us to let us make it. You feel me? Like, and maybe not in the way we think, right? Maybe not signing J. Cole is not coming to sign nobody, but the motherfucker made Fayetteville and the 2-6 a viable, sellable option moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So, I have, you know, different, someday, you know, you catch me on the wrong day, I'll be like, yeah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We need to stand more together as a city for sure. The city definitely has been fragmented in the past because not only the hip hop, man, just because the street culture of the city. You know, the hood's culture, the west side, the east side, the north side, south side. I mean, people can sleep on whatever they want, but a lot of cities have a good side and a bad side of town. Fayetteville got a bad side of town on every side of town.
We've had a lot of neighborhoods beefing through the years. Especially when I was in school, Bunts beefing with it. I mean, Bunts Road beef with everybody.
Worldwide up in the 2-6. That's why it's because you got to yell that out just to get some help. You might be getting jumped. If you hear you know, just don't holler it back, motherfucker. Come and kick this motherfucker off me.
I just feel like North Carolina as a whole should be a little bit further, though.
Yes, I agree, 100%. I feel like we've given a lot to not only musical but popular culture, as far as stars, as far as movies, television, everything. And I feel like, you know, we're looked at as the place you go to hide out if you're from New York, or the place you stop before you move to Florida. I mean, you know what I mean? But we more than that, you know, the mid-Atlantic.
We always looked at, we're like the Clippers. We looked at like the Clippers. Like we're like the little brother.
Oh, come on, don't
Yeah, like the little brother, we're like the little cousin of New York and stuff or something.
Hey, by the way, here's the nipples, because without them, tits would be pointless.
So what do you think, Jay? You think North Carolina should have been a little further right now? Like, I mean, we got the Baby, J. Cole, Fantasia, we got Anthony Hamilton, PD Pablo, Ninth Wonder, Little Brother. Ain't Rhapsody from North Carolina?
Yeah, she's from Ahoskie, North Carolina.
Where?
Yeah, Ahoskie.
What the hell is that?
That's like going up almost to the Virginia line, going east.
Oh, she's right at the border.
Yeah.
And then we're like the whole.
We had a lot of people. We had Entice. Entice was in the the Deadly Venoms, and she's from Winston-Salem.
I mean, and even Black Sheep shouted
this
us
and
out
that
because they went to school. Black Sheep shouted us out because they went to school here.
Well, Mr. Long, his family's from Sanford.
He's from Sanford. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Mr. Long's family from Sanford. We had This and That. I think it was This and That. They I believe they went to Westover and they moved to Atlanta. Little Mo, my actual friend E, his father was a teacher. He taught her in middle school, even though she claims Brooklyn, I believe, but she's from here.
Oh yeah, definitely Little Mo's from here. Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, we've given a lot.
From like Shaw University, it was heavy around here, like Lords. Like Lords have always had heavy ties to this area, and now, you know, one of them lives here, of course. So, I mean, you know, Big Daddy Kane and Raleigh. I mean, going back
Terminator X,
Justice League. I mean, we can go back and back and back beyond that. We can go back to Jodeci. Who grew up in Sanford.
I forgot about Jodeci.
Casey Haley, they're so here's an interesting story. I have an interesting background, you know what I'm saying? My mom married my stepdad, Anthony Talmadge, when I was 1. He's a African-American, you know what I'm saying, ex-military, was a preacher here in Fayetteville, at New Macedonia Free Will Baptist at the end of Bunch Road and Rayford Road for many, many years. He retired recently. I love him. Shout out to Pops. Love you, Pop. So, you know, and he was friends with Reverend Haley. So out in Sanford, he had a church. And back when I was a young child at New Macedonia in the choir, I was a bass. Of course, I was a bass. And I learned how to play piano there. But so they came, and the Haley children came. And JoJo was probably then, I was probably like 6 or 7. He was probably like 13, 12. And them boys were blowing back then. They used to travel around to the black churches in North Carolina. And a couple years later, you know, I'm listening to Father MC, and they're all over his record, by the way. People forget that before they ever had a record, they blew Father MC's biggest record ever up on 3 or 4 tracks, and he made more money than ever. So, I mean, North Carolina's musical roots is fucking unquestionable, bitch. Talk shit if you want to. I mean, and Fayetteville in general, stronger than most. Charlotte and Raleigh look at us, and they're, you know, say what you want on the internet. I hope these comments down here, you know, y'all gonna say what you want. But to be the smallest of the 3, y'all look at us like we the real street shit. I mean, the 2-6 is the real street shit, and Durham is the real street shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shout out Josie Mo.
They look at us like troublemakers, man. When we go out of town, they look at us like the #1 troublemakers.
Oh, we got mad talent, and don't, I mean,
well, because we always got to shout and 2-6. And let everybody know where we from. We got everybody.
Why not?
2-6. Fayettenam 2-6. I don't see like Charlotte, like Queen City, Queen.
No, that's the 5-2, by the way, and nobody wants to be from the 5-2, so fuck that. Everybody moves to the 5-2. Like the dopest artist in Charlotte is Eric Lottery, and he's from 2-6. Eric Lottery, shout out Eric Lottery, blowing up on everything, RNG, all that. But he's from here, so. I mean, once again, and 3-4 million streams on 5 million streams on Spotify. Charlotte, one of Charlotte's dopest artists, speaks on what you're saying, man.
Don't we need an
why? Because
office
what
in
did he
Charlotte?
say? You asked Jay earlier or whatever. You asked him where he's from, boss. Like you, I mean, we're all born somewhere, but we all raised here. So that's a real cool ass mix of different
Fortunately,
styles.
I'm from Cape Fear Valley Hospital, so.
Hey, shout out to you, man. Big up to you, my son, who's I love more than anybody. He's from there too. But I was born in Brockton, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston, where the famous Marvin Hagler and you know what I'm saying, of course, Rocky Marciano are from. Now I moved here when I was
okay.
Everyone talk about Rocky Marciano.
Brockton, Mass, the Brockton Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm from. But I moved here when I was 2.5. So, but from one gritty city, Brockton, which in Massachusetts is the same thing as Fayetteville, is a city where all the Haitians are, the Portuguese. I'm half Portuguese. My dad's there from there. So it's the little grimy city outside of Boston that nobody wants to go to. Marvin Hagler from there. So same thing. Like I moved here when I was 2.5. So I love it that those two cities have that kind of same feeling. But I'm from here, man. Like fuck around, find out. Like I'm from here. I was raised here, born here. 71st Elementary, Lewis Chapel. 71st. I briefly went to Douglasburg and Southview because I was a fucked up teenager. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But shout out to Cape Fear Valley, and don't go there if you can avoid it, like a motherfucker.
Man. Don't look. That's my request. Don't let me die. It's life like me to UNC or something. Please.
Fly me to Duke,
fly me to
Duke, bitch. Hey, fly me to Duke. Fly me to Duke, bitch. I don't care about no rivalries.
I forgot you a Duke fan.
Oh, not only am I a Duke fan, hey, UNC fan or not, you better get flown to Duke. You better have Robert Samajani work on your shit.
Yeah, I'm sure you know who my Facebook post today about Team USA looking like a bunch of firemen and plumbers was referencing.
Well, you look like a motherfucking electrician.
Reddick.
Don't hate on Reddick. Hate on Reddick because he was super wet all the goddamn time.
Now, let me ask you
USA, that Team USA was already going to look like. It just looked like a whole squad of Team B, man. No stars on that squad.
Now, let me ask you this, Mr. J. Do we need North Carolina or Fayetteville necessarily be bigger, or we just need to be focused on ourselves as individuals?
Once again, my thing goes back to what I say all the time in every interview, every time I interview with somebody, networking. I mean, you got to create this network. You got to be able to, go out here and work with other artists, work with other people, and just try to work with like-minded folks, man. I think that's the only way it's going to work. I mean, I really wish we were more like, like Oakland and like Houston in that sense, where people, they had their kind of beefs and all that stuff. They kind of had their discord, but they were still able to push out and create a culture that is recognizable to the rest of, hip hop at large. There's people out here who know, what I'm saying, when you start talking about Oakland, you can talk about individuals, JT, the Bigger Figure, E40, talk about the hyphy movement, Mac Dre, all those things. You know what I'm saying? When people really drill down on. Same way for Houston, talk about Trader Truth, Bun B, even though they're from Port Arthur, Texas. That whole, Texas movement, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, all that stuff. You can talk about that, but that's what we need to hear. Continuously talk about, the artists that we have here, continuously try to network with the artists that we have here and give them their flowers. You know what I mean? Whether we jive with everybody or roll with everybody, we still need to be able to kind of, reach out and network with everybody.
Do you think we're like a big enough state though that we should have a major music market? Like, I mean, like, look at Tennessee, man. I mean, I would think we're bigger state than Tennessee.
Oh, well, but the only thing is they have an inherent advantage with the whole Nashville country music scene. They have an embedded, mini Hollywood of the music land. So they get offshoot from that. But yeah, man, I mean, of course, who can argue with that, P? Like, who can argue that our population and the cast that we got in the places that we have, shouldn't have more pull?
The universities we have, and we got more major universities than any state. We got a bunch of military bases. We got people coming in.
A bunch. We have the largest military base in the world right here, 187,000 troops.
I mean, we got people coming in and out from every city, every state. I just feel like we should have a bigger scene, though.
Look at Jay. You love that
it's growing.
Mr. J.
What do you say?
And y'all too, Fort Liberty. Hell no. Hell no.
Oh, let's not even go there, because I can't even call it that.
You could have gave me that $3 million. I'd have just slapped you until you called it Fort Bragg again. That $3 million on just the signs, by the way, just the signs.
And not a when throw it out there.
And they took that right out of my pockets before you even got your check. They took it right out your money before they gave it to you, which is against the Constitution. Let's not get into that. I'd rather you bill me.
We're about to be hitting an hour, man. So I'm about to be wrapping it up here in a second.
Actually, this is magic. We went longer last week, huh?
Yeah.
So we got to do this to give you enough actual content, man, to cut up and chop up.
We should go earlier, man, and we got to have
2 segments, or maybe we should do 2 segments in the week and let you chop them up. You know what I mean?
It depends on the schedules of everybody.
I work with everybody. Listen, I will work with whatever y'all cats got to work with, man. Honestly, I like what you're doing, P. I believe in what you're doing. So, I mean, whatever I work with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to check with Z too, and I don't know what Mr. J's schedule.
I'm about to call Jones when I get off here because I'm shocked. Like right before we got on here, I called him. He said, "Yeah, I can't wait to get on there." I was like, "Yeah," because he had some story. I was like, "Oh." Then I was doing something, and then boom, we were on, and Jones wasn't there.
The link, man. He ain't hit me back, man. So
that's crazy.
Yep. But yeah, I'm about to get off here, fellas. And
all right, bro.
We're going to wrap it up, and we're going to see what everybody's schedule is. If anybody can ramp it up for 2 more pieces a week or whatnot.
Oh, Paul Masson, before we get off here, I want you to give me a solid Yeah, baby. My God. Mr. J, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do, Paul Masson, man. I appreciate you for the culture, bro. Honestly, I look at you as just like all of us, Bomb Shelter, me, you, Character Assassins, like so many more, man. Like Frandy, the list goes on and on and on. But we all are pieces of a chain, bro.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, man, we all pieces. By the way, he's still around here. Don't think I can't pull his ass out the dredges either. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that, Frandy?
Him on the podcast. We should get Frandy on here next week. I think I can do that. And then we're links in the chain, man. But we are the ones working and just work, man. I see you working, bro, for real. Motherfuckers can, hate is form of love. Just remember that, bro.
I'm about to ramp it up on them too. So
I know. And hey, I'm about to drop the Circle of Kings podcast October 1st, with exclusively funded by Walk On Sports Bar and Bare Knuckle UKC. And we're all about to benefit from this shit, man. I built my studio today. My walls went up over there at the tattoo shop. All my floors going in. So, hey, man, we're all going to, I'm here for everybody. I'm for the city and definitely y'all, for real. Definitely the hip-hop artists from my era.
All right. How about y'all later, man?
All right, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace.